This is a regular conference of the City Council as incorporated in the annual meetings notice of 2014, which was filed in the City Clerk's office and posted on the bulletin board on December 27, 2013, and sent to the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law of New Jersey. Roll call.
Okay. Councilman Questa.
Here.
Councilman Torres.
Here.
Councilman Gonzalez.
Here.
Councilman Keenan.
Here.
Councilman Sedano.
Here.
Councilman Gorman.
Here.
Councilman Mazza.
Here.
President Pro Tem Perkins Auguste.
Here.
Public speaking.
All right, anyone here to address City Council is now public speaking? Seeing none. Close public speaking portion of the meeting. Move on to the agenda.
Okay, letter dated February 18, 2014, from the Business Administrator requesting that City Council reject all bids received on February 4, 2014 for the furnishing of one portable stainless steel PTO-driven belt conveyor and to authorize the purchasing agent to re-advertise for same.
Any questions? Put it on.
Letter dated February 18, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into and execute a memorandum of understanding between City of Elizabeth and the State of New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness to cooperate with each other on the purchase, maintenance, response, and/or sharing of urban search and rescue equipment by the Metro Urban Search and Rescue Strike Team.
Any questions? Is this costing us anything? Is this costing us anything?
Oh, no, it's a grant. We've had them in the past, and we're just trying to get approval in case other grants come down.
Okay.
Letter dated February 6, 2014, from the Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the tax collector to credit individuals' taxes entitled to a senior citizen or disability deduction and a veteran deduction for the 2013 tax year as per the delineated list in the amount of $1,500.
Any questions? Put it on.
Letter dated February 14, 2014, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting the City Council's approval of the city's tax year 2014 cash management plan for the period January 1, 2014 through December 31st, 2014.
Any questions? Put it on.
Letter dated February 14, 2014, from the Chief Financial Officer, requesting authorization for the tax collector to accept payment of taxes without interest charges, provided said payment is made within the 10th calendar day following the date upon which same became payable, and fix the rate of interest to be charged for delinquent taxes.
Any questions? Put it on.
Letter dated February 18, 2014, from the Chief Financial Officer, advising that additional grants may be appropriated in the 2014 state fiscal year budget by budget amendments, Chapter 159.
Any questions? Put it on.
Letter dated February 18, 2014, from the Chief Financial Officer, advising that in compliance with the state fiscal year 2014 Appropriations Act, your honorable body approve all payments related to accumulated uncompensated absence benefits.
Any questions? This is just in anticipation.
In case anyone's retiring. I don't anticipate any coming up this week, but
Okay.
there might be. We're expecting some in the
So you
March.
do this every week? 'Cause
Yeah,
you did it the
yeah,
last
just in
time.
case someone wants to retire, we
Oh,
want
okay.
to get them paid on a timely basis.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Put it on.
Letter dated February 18, 2014, from the Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the sale of $11 million principal amount of general improvement bonds, Series 2014, Authorize advertisement of notices of sale. Authorize Chief Financial Officer to sell and award the bonds. Determine the form and other details of the bonds, and authorize other matters relating thereto.
Any questions? So, put it on.
Letter dated January 31st, 2014, from the Director of Health and Human Services, requesting to enter into an agreement between City of Elizabeth Department of Health and Human Services and the following: Kenilworth Board of Health, Berkeley Heights Health Department, and Clark Health Department. Each municipality agrees to pay the sum of $70 per patient for services rendered at the Sexually Transmitted Disease Clinic, payable upon receipt of a report containing each confirmed case.
Any questions?
Can we just do this?
Yeah, so that's it.
Why we keep doing
Or is this added more
Added
town,
other towns.
other town?
it? The only new town is Clark. But
Yeah.
Kenilworth was on before, right?
It was,
Yeah.
that's why I was asking.
Well-
I think
Yeah.
last meeting, it was the TB, now this time it's the STB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's also, the next one is also for TB.
Yeah, no, I know we did.
We did,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
I
keep,
remember
we keep duplicating this.
I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Can we just check? Okay.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah.
And then if it's not, then I'll put it up.
Yeah, these
put it
three, I
on.
don't think we did the STB.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the next letter is dated January 31st, 2014, from the Director of Health and Human Services, requesting to enter into an agreement between the City of Elizabeth Department of Health and Human Services and the following: Kenilworth Board of Health, Berkeley Heights Health Department, and Clark Health Department. Each municipality agrees to pay the sum of $90 per patient visit and an administration fee of $70 for services payable upon receipt of a report of a confirmed medical service rendered at the Union County TB Reactor Clinic in Elizabeth.
So it's $160? Oh, not just the $9 per person.
Right, plus the administration.
Yeah, Mr. President, we look at this, I know definitely Kenilworth, we did
Wasn't,
at the last
yeah,
meeting.
I remember Kenilworth.
Kenilworth was definitely in the last meeting, so I don't recall the other two municipalities.
Clark is,
Yeah.
I know it's new, but Kenilworth was definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna see what's the
You know, but Kenilworth,
And Clark maybe.
Okay, I'll check those. Letter dated February 4, 2014, from the Director of Health and Human Services requesting authorization for proper city officials to enter into a license agreement with Union County College for the purpose of utilizing O'Donnell Dempsey Senior Center to provide music appreciation on Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. to the seniors.
This is at no cost, correct?
No, she didn't have any cost here.
Make sure they get on. Oh, you have the
The
contract.
contract, yeah, and there's no amount. No cost, I don't see a cost.
Thank you, put it on.
Mr. President? Just one question, with the contract, how long is it gonna be for? Is it just a certain amount of weeks, or is it gonna be ongoing?
On the contract, it says, January 21st, 2014 through May 13, 2014.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Play what type of music? No, just one.
I was looking. Okay. Letter dated February 11, 2014, from the Director of Health and Human Services requesting that April 7 through 13, 2014 be declared National Public Health Week. Letter dated February 11, 2014, from the Director of Public Works recommending awarding a contract to HBC Electric, Roselle, New Jersey, for the electrical maintenance and emergency repair service at various public buildings owned by the city at a cost not to exceed $452,357.
Any questions? new. I think this is their first time getting this contract.
No, I don't think so.
Because I thought we got it somewhere in Jersey City. Okay, any questions? Okay, put it on.
Letter dated February 11, 2014, from the Director of Public Works, recommending awarding a contract to Stonebridge, Inc., of Feasterville, Pennsylvania, for the Erxleben Pool renovation project at a cost of $2,705,025.
Any questions?
Mr. President, as you know, I was supporting this and working with the administration. I'm happy to see that they are awarding this contract, and I'm hopeful that council will support it so they can start working on designing it, planning it, and
You know how
getting it
soon?
done by June.
Yeah, is it scheduled to be done by June? This is,
Wait.
no?
I don't know. I will find out, though.
Okay.
So I hear
We're hoping to get it up by this
Yeah,
summer.
because of the,
Yeah. So,
yes. And then we need a-
thank you.
Letter dated February 14, 2014, from the Director of Public Works, requesting authorization for the preparation and submission of applications to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and the New Jersey Infrastructure Trust for loans from the New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust Financing Program for 4 projects: maintenance of the Elizabeth River Flood Control Project, the South Street Flood Control Project, the Trumbull Street Flood Control Project, and the Progress Street Flood Control Project.
Any questions? Sharon, do you have any questions? I'll hold you, please. You have a question?
No, we did.
Put it on.
Let's start the work.
Letter dated January 13, 2014, from the Woodard and Curran, Inc., East Windsor, New Jersey, is seeking approval for an encroachment permit to install 2 environmental groundwater monitoring wells in Jefferson Avenue between Virginia and Alina Street.
Any questions? Put it on.
Okay, letter dated February 11, 2014, from the city treasurer, submitting the treasurer's report of receipts and disbursements for the month of September 2013 and statement of bank balances and investments as of September 30, 2013. Memorial for Mrs. Margaret Jackson. And then we have to go into closed session.
We need a motion to go into closed session. Take the roll.
Okay. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss a matter falling within the attorney-client privilege, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Councilman Questa?
Aye.
Councilman Torres?
Aye.
Councilman Gonzalez?
Aye.
Councilman Keenan?
Aye.
Councilman Sedan? Councilman Ballmer?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
And President Pro Tem Perkins, yes.
Thank you. 2 things. Can we find out, with all this weather that we're having, how far back are we pushed the development of the waterfront?
Find out.
Can we find out if we still it's gonna be open before the summer? And the second thing is, I had an opportunity to ride with the Department of Public Works during the snowstorm, And when I say these guys did a phenomenal job, they was well coordinated. I mean, one truck was headed one way, the other truck, they did a tremendous job, and I just want to give John Papetti and all his staff just a big thank you. I mean, the whole city, I only did the first ward, and 4 o'clock, I couldn't take it, I had to go back in. But they stood out there all night at the 3 p.m. the next day, so you got to give these guys a lot of credit. They really work hard for the city. So that's it, Mr. President.
Okay. Michelle?
Pass.
Bill?
Yes, Madam President. In the past, Tony, maybe you can help me with this. In the past, when we've had the snowstorms, we was able to go around and remove some of the snow around the city, especially on one-way street. I spoke to the director, and I believe they are starting to attempt to do that task now. But I don't know whether it's because of funds, why we didn't start immediately, especially when we first had the first heavy snowstorm. But I know in the past we've been able to remove most of the snow so it wouldn't become such a hazard around the city.
Yeah, the director mentioned that he would be starting soon. They're waiting for the snow to stop.
Well,
So, he did mention that he would be removing snow, and that'd be at a cost.
Yeah,
That'd be
okay.
a cost. So-
Because I guess I didn't know whether it was like a funds. Because
No.
So-
So we're okay.
We're okay?
As far as the funds, yeah.
Okay. And then I don't know how we fare with salt. I do know there was something on the news about the barge coming in with the American flag on and the what was it? Not ordinance.
Yeah, I saw that on
Did you see
News
it?
12, yeah.
You-
Yeah, that's just dumping it, yeah.
Because they had to have the American flag on. If you didn't have the American flag, they wouldn't let them come into the barge. And, big mess. I don't know what it takes for our senator to
I know a week ago, we didn't have any.
get
Salt, they were running low.
that straightened out. I hope they're working on that to get that straightened out so we can get some salt in so we don't leave out any. I know most all the local stores are out of calcium and everything else, so it's we're hurting. But I'm happy to hear that he started to remove some of the
He
snow.
will, yeah, he will be.
I guess especially some of the one-way street. Because as you know, with our large apparatus we have for the fire department nowadays, once the one-way street becomes so narrow with the snow mounds on the side, now they're not just snow mounds, there's just ice barge. It makes it very difficult to remove. So I hope they start moving that very soon. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, you're welcome. Councilman Mazza?
Yeah, I have to say, echo the wording of the first ward councilman about the public works, what a great job they did the first snowstorm, the second, the third, et cetera, et cetera. On my last Black Watch meeting that I had, we actually, some people requested I want 4th Avenue to be removed because in the past it's always been 4th Avenue to, they get rid of the snow. So, and I said, listen, 4th Avenue is in good shape. I don't think we need to remove. But anyway, I forwarded to Mr. Papetti. And Johnny said, Mr. Mazza, it's wide enough, we're not gonna pick up any snow, but we have other locations that we must be able to take care of, such as the hospital area, the court, all the emergency building, all the funeral homes, all the handicap signs, all those great things that, and I have to say that it's a great job done by Public Works with the short manpowers that we have. They should be really commended. Now the 1, 2, or 3, but even 4th time. I hope that we don't have another storm. This is the winter time, ladies and gentlemen. We have to have a snow, otherwise we don't kill the bacteria, and then we're all going to be sick during the summer. But if you don't like this weather, just go to one of the islands, buy a tank. But anyway. One thing I'm very disappointed, I was debating on a daily basis with people, some people, like myself, I don't have a driveway, and I have to dig myself out, not only my car, but my wife, and sometimes even my lazy boy, my son's car. And I usually go to school. When I come back, if I find a park, otherwise I try to park wherever I find a parking space. But unfortunately, other people, you know, they clean too like I do, which I have respect for them. Might be 1 day, 2 days, and they put the furnitures out. And the park is empty for the entire length of day. So I try to find out where is the law on the book. I mean, I asked one of the director years ago, and he goes, Frank, it's not a popular call. But there seems to be a lot of people that are actually complaining. And they say, what kind of law do we have in Elizabeth? And whatever. I said, well, let me go back 50 years ago when I used to live on Palmer Street. I remember a gentleman digged himself out and he put cinder block. So who's gonna move cinder block, you know, left and up in the street? I mean, so, again, my question goes to Madam President or to the law department. Do you have anything on the law that says that it's against the law, even though you're digging yourself out or whatever? Why are you allowed to, put on the street to preserve your parking space? Is there such a thing on the record, Mr. Estrada?
I'd have to look at it.
All right, so whenever you do,
I don't believe it is. They're not allowed.
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
It's not allowed.
It's
Okay.
allowed, it's a public
Public
street.
street.
Yeah.
So if you wanna move the thing, cause sometimes I remove it
Yeah.
personally. I just move it in park if I'm going to someone's house and then just move it. It's a public street.
I believe,
I think we looked into this several years ago when we had a lot of snow.
Jordan, I believe now on the cars that has not been removed for the first snowstorm, I think you're supposed to be moving in 36 hours, is that correct?
48.
In 36 hours?
From the vehicles?
Yeah, if the vehicle been there for.
I'm not sure. I know that we have an ordinance relating to sidewalks, but I don't know about vehicles.
No,
I believe we hit the sewer, I think it's 36.
That was 3 days.
Is it 3 days? I forget. It's a time limit, I know that.
Madam President,
Yes.
my understanding was that the car can be parked no longer than 3 days, and then it's got to be moved, according to the ordinance now.
I'm not sure. I'd have to
Yeah,
check.
would you check it and let us know, because I
think it's
know the
48
36
hours.
or whatever.
48
How many
Was
hours?
it 40 hours?
Just 2
Is it
days.
48 hours?
Pretty sure it is.
Okay,
I'm positive.
I'm in the ballpark. I'm in the ballpark. Okay, all right.
Madam,
I'm
so
sorry,
can I
yes.
have the copy of the law that exists on the book, because I like to use my campaign funds to pass out that law to the people of my ward, so everybody will know what the law is, because I'm not gonna go and argue with people. When I even try to help them out, I said, move your car, I went building to building, I try to move so we could clean the street, the snow pile is ready to come in, but I can't do because you got 1 car in, 2 cars parked, you know.
Right.
So we need the cooperation of everybody. And the majority of the people that I spoke with, you know, they really were very, very upset because, you know, but I said, listen, I worked for 5 hours to clean my cars. At least 1 day or 2 days courtesy, you should have respect for the person. And even when I got the street cleaning with the snow plowing, people came out and put furniture. Now, excuse me, no, you come on a first come for service basis. And, you know, quote and unquote, we have to be civilized people. You know, really
Just
to
ask
respect.
Public Works to pick it up. It's
Well,
gone. It's in the
I,
street.
Patricia, I was advised at one particular time that it's an unpopular call from, you know, certain people to me. But if the
You
law,
don't have to make a call.
you know what I'm saying? But you're a lovely lady, you go up there, take the cone and you push the chairs and you go away. Somebody nasty might give you 4 flat tires. And then the next day you won't be able to get up, or they might throw a cinder block against your windows when nobody sees
We
around.
don't do it that way in my
But
neighborhood.
I understand, but you don't do it in your neighborhood, but there's a neighborhood they probably do, then you call the police, and you have to make a report and see what happened. Your insurance is gonna pay for it. So, I like to have a copy of the law, because I would like to instruct some of the people in my neighborhood that even though you're digging, you do not own the street, and you do not put barricades or whatever, because the law is the law. But I need to have that, if you don't mind, Mr. Estrada.
Like I said, I'd looked into it. She was the one that gave you the answer. I mean, there may be no law, which would mean that you'd have to.
Well, I like to get it from the law department, say if there is no
Okay.
law, there will be implemented to come up with a law, that it become illegal for somebody to put cinder blocks or chairs or furniture on the street. So if you don't mind, and Yolanda, I have a memorial for Elvira Moriello,
Wait a minute, what's her name?
E-L,
Wait a minute. E-L or G-L?
no, E-L, like Elizabeth.
Oh, E-L. Go
V
ahead.
like in Victor, I like Italy, R like Romeo, A like America. Last name Moriello.
Okay.
Moriello. And
Okay.
she's a grandmother of a fine police officer that works in our police department, 94 years old. She just passed a couple days ago, she just passed away. Rest in peace.
Thank you.
Frank,
I don't have anything, thank you, Madam President.
Carlos.
Just two quick things. One, just to piggyback off what Frank was mentioning too. I know for a fact, like I received a couple notices of certain people in the community that received notes on their windows because they took the parking spots that someone else shoveled, and the notes weren't friendly notes. Like they don't. It's like, if you take my spot, like this is my spot. I dug it out, and like in a sense they felt threatened, and they were questioning the very thing. So I think the two major things. One, it's definitely unsightly. Like you drive through the neighborhood. I mean, you see baby carriages. You see so many different things holding these spots. And then also too, it just adds so much contention. Like in the neighbors and people, it's true. People hold those spots. It becomes their private spots for a few days. The other thing is, during the storm too, I was told that the payloader wasn't being used throughout the city. Like they were waiting for, because there were certain areas that was perfect, just to remove the snow. And I was told by the supervisor that they had no authority to use it. And I'm just curious on how come it wasn't used, I guess, in certain areas. But
Yeah, let's talk to the director. He mentioned it would be starting
okay,
the snow removal. That was Thursday or Friday when I talked to him, so.
okay, that's it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Did you call me Mr. or Liz?
Mrs.
Okay.
It just faded near the end, so.
Patricia's fine.
Patricia's good, thank you.
Madam President, I'll pass.
Okay. I just have, just put on for March Women's History Month.
March.
Accommodation.
Okay.
Okay. That's all. Motion to adjourn.
Move.